also the fact that, keep it 1,000, like, if you're a parent, half of your job is to lie and tell kids that it's going to be okay when you don't know if it is. Like, how about this? My man was saying some crazy shit. He was like, you know, keep it real. Kobe, the last thing he probably told his little girl was, it's going to be all right. He had to lie. Like every other parent in a plane crash, right? I've been on planes that have fucked up turbulence.
Yeah.
We flew all the way to Australia. This shit was... I saw a mom hug a little baby, say, hey, it's gonna be fine, don't worry about it. She didn't fucking know.
She's not a pilot.
You don't know a fucking thing about this.
But what are you supposed to say?
Exactly. You're supposed to lie. So here's the problem. What if someone else assumes that role over you? And here's where I take you down a rabbit hole.
And you see what I'm talking about? This started off as a barbershop conversation.
So the government lies.
Where we going right now?
They like your parent. They lie to you.
Right.
But do you have to have those gentle lies to get through life, to give you peace of mind and stability as a kid? Like when your parents said, we'll be okay, we'll find the rent. They never said to you, hey, listen, I know you're 6 years old and you probably have a lot on your plate, but we may not rate rent this month. No. They try to protect you from that by lying about the financial stability of the house.
It's like Men in Black.
It's okay because I'm trying to protect you from some fucked up shit, some monster that's out there in space.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they said exactly in Men in Black. I was watching that shit the other day.
I feel like that would cause like chaos.
Panic.
If people actually knew the truth.
Yeah.
It would cause chaos.
Because most people can't handle the truth.
Society would fall.
But people know the truth
madness.
I don't know if that's true. It depends on how it's presented.
Okay, if I said, I'm sorry, we have to allow these companies to poison you people because in reality, if we keep multiplying the way that we do, like this earth is going to go to shit.
But I think that in many ways, people have already seen that ever present, and I'll say that.
But there's some people that don't.
Right, but I don't mean as an example of that. I just mean an example in general. Like, for example, a bunch of kids get shot in a school shooting here. That's not supposed to happen. But no one's startled by a bus exploding, right, somewhere in Pakistan or Afghanistan. Or in Syria, a bomb lands and 30 kids are dead.
Normal.
No one, because it's been normalized, right? Whereas here, we say, well, those kids weren't supposed to die. Why? Why
makes us special.
Other kids were supposed to die, right? So I think that's the part of it that they're also introducing us. Also, I'm not trying to get all, too deep down the rabbit hole, but please also remember that the way that Europeans trained African and indigenous people to relate to death is very different from the way we related it for thousands of years.
Right.
African people celebrated their ancestors passing away to meet up with their other ancestors. Right. We didn't get that from Black Panther. That was in the culture for thousands of years.
Right.
Yeah.
Indigenous people, they were mummified probably 1,500 years before Egyptians, always in a fetal position because they believed they would be born into some other plane. So we've always had these things. We've always had these recognitions. But only 500 years ago, we got introduced to the fear and the loathing of Christianity, which is, and in many ways, Catholicism, most of us, which is more of a condition than a religion, which teaches you to be afraid that something's going to happen to you. Well, what happens if nothing that you do in life has any bearing on how you show up on the other side? What if you and Hitler are standing next to each other on the other spiritual side, and he's just like, you know what, I shouldn't have done the shit that I did.
Or just saying,
or you say, hey, you know
it was necessary.
I should have done the things that I did.
Yeah.
Or this is what happened, and in retrospect, this is how I dealt with anger. Or I was overcompensating for being abused as a child, so I hurt everyone I could in life, and now I see.
Because it's a part of the purpose. Because if Hitler was evil and God created everybody, God knew He was going to create Hitler to be evil, to do the things he do. He was a part of the plan. If you want to look at it like that.
If a person believes in God.
If you
that's
are
what I'm saying.
Supposed to look at it like that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Which is the other weird part, because under my fingernail live millions of bacteria, right? Some of them may be sentient. They live in a universe where a neutron is the size of the sun, right? And in this tiny fucking universe, some of these creatures may be smarter than human beings. So when they die, is there some ethereal realm for them Like when you wipe the cold and the shit out your eye in the morning, those are the homes built by generations and generations of dust mites that live in your fucking like eyebrow. Keep it real.
That's real, though.
What I'm talking about?
Is there heaven?
We
Is there
started
heaven? Is
with
there
a
heaven for them?
conversation. You
What I'm
dig what
saying is there heaven for them?
damn.
Is there a purgatory?
Turn it
for them?
off sometimes,
Is there a
bro.
purgatory for them? Is there a heaven for them? No. So why the fuck is there one for you?
How do you know it's not a heaven for them?
You know, don't.
Exactly. There you go.
Ah!
There you go.
So it's just as plausible for them to have one as you. So if you believe in one for you, you got to believe in one for them. And if you believe in one for them, then the dogs got to have one, and the cats, and then the praying mantises, and all these little other creatures that have been good or bad or whatever. And then you judge morality based on a scale. So then it becomes a question of
people don't look at it like
person.
that. Yeah.
Like, for example, when you watch those nature movies, if a person, a man, attacked a woman that didn't want to have sex and forcibly mated with her, that's rape. That's looked down on by even the hardest people in our society.
Right.
But at what point does an animal transfer into that? Like when you watch a lions and they're mating.
Yeah,
they don't have the brain.
female lion may not want to have sex at that
Nah, it's
particular.
too bad.
Is she being
Right.
violated? That's the whole point. I think we're talking about us moving away from our animal instinct to try to be, more human, which I thought was interesting because that's how battle rap was invented. To move away from the animal instinct of killing each other in the street and beating the fuck out of each other or murdering someone you love along with the other people because they just happen to be there. And now we're going to settle this with a battle of wits. Now we're going to settle this with a meeting of the minds. And I'm going to crush you here in your head and destroy you. The art of fighting without fighting. That real Bruce Lee shit.
Yeah,
right?
no, that's
what I mean. So I think it's interesting that conflict is played on that stage.
All right. Okay.